Okay, we've got a real problem.
Well, it's always nice to see a man reach his lifetime goal. Brick is rolling in the dough, pie dough. We're in a place called Pie Town.
We finally made it, Linda. We're here.
As long as we're not dead, this is a good thing.
Let's go inside.
Okay.
Everything goes down. Yeah, I wasn't sure you could open this now.
She tries, during the office, the hiker she tries to stay open for like the office. Monday through Thursday, we're open. 2 days, she's calling in. I said,
This restaurant is called the Pie-O-Neer, and it's right along the Continental Divide Trail in New Mexico, along Highway 60. Inside, we're just waiting for our pie to show up. And we met a young fella in there by the name of PJ. He's from England, and he's doing the Continental Divide Trail. He did half of it last year from the Canadian border heading south, and this year he started at the Mexican border, and he's heading up to meet that spot. And he was in here so interesting, 26 years old, so involved in his hiking. His pack, without food and water, weighs only 6 pounds. That's ultralight backpacking for sure. He was so enthusiastic about hiking and what he does, and he had a lot to say about adventuring. A real pleasant guy to talk to, real interesting. Linda ordered the New Mexico apple, and it's got pinion nuts and yeah. And I ordered a piece of honey pecan. Yeah. There's a lot of historical photographs and things on the wall around here that make it really interesting just to walk around and check things out. Well, check this out. This is my pecan pie, and that's Linda's New Mexico apple. These are huge slices. It's hard to tell on the camera, but they are. This one is still warm from the oven. Well, this is interesting because Linda's pie is a dried apple pie, and that's a holdover from the pioneering days. It's delicious. The crust is absolutely amazing. Hey, that's my pie. Excuse me, Linda.
It's very,
Is that good?
very of a different.
This is a buttermilk pie on the inside, toasted pecans on top, and it's made with honey. Absolutely delicious.
Well, I've never had a dried apple pie before. I always wondered how they would turn out. Well, this one is like biting into a fresh apple, complete with the skin, and the rest of the pie is dried also. It's different. It's really good. So that's how they made pies, I guess, in the pioneer days, because they dried their apples. Right? Good stuff.
You know, every pie video I do, I never rate them. You know, I say, oh, they're really good or whatever, and usually they are. Number one, right here. This pie was the absolute best. I talk about homemade. I got to admit, though, man, I am stuffed. Mine was like a double slice. It was like a double slice, and so was Linda's. And then stop and think about it. Lard, flour, cream, honey, pecans, butter. I don't need to eat dinner, that's what I'm trying to say. And one more thing, you know, we started doing these pies on our videos, and it just kind of became a thing that people look forward to. I know, I look forward to it. But do you know what that means? It's tax deductible. I kid you not, our pie is tax deductible. Well, Pie Town is in central western New Mexico along Highway 60. You look it up, because if you get a chance to go there, you should. It's run by a local lady and her husband, and when they opened it up, they knew they had to feature pie, and boy, do they ever. Anyways, we just turned off north on Highway 36 out of What is the name of that town?
I don't. Oh, Quemodo. Quemodo.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And these towns down here are real south of the border looking, even more so than anything we've seen in Arizona, with the adobe buildings and the Mexican style architecture and everything. It's real beautiful looking stuff. We don't know where we're going. We never do. We're heading north on 36.
But we're gonna get there soon.
One of these days.
Yep.
I started hearing a grinding sound when I'd step on the brakes about 2 or 3 days ago. I thought it was coming from the trailer brakes, but Linda just stuck her head out the window and it's coming from the right rear of this car. I couldn't tell anything by looking at it, and the wheel's too hot anyway, and the exhaust and everything. So we're going to camp early, and I'm going to try to get underneath and check out our brakes on that side. I just had the brakes inspected the week before we left on this trip, and they said they were all right. Evidently something let go, because it sure sounds like metal on metal to me. So if it requires brakes, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it myself in a campground setting, or if I'm just going to take it in and have it done somewhere. I don't know. We're just going to have to play it by ear. When we make camp tonight, after things cool down, I'll get underneath and see if I can get a look at the brake pads and check it out. Yeah, Linda's just kind of starting to shop for a campsite up ahead. It's a little bit after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. On the maps, we couldn't even tell if this road was paved or not. So we had to stop at the National Forest Office down in Magdalena and go inside and ask. And they showed us the route that was paved up through here. We're going to end up crossing Highway 40, or maybe going up through Albuquerque before we head north up into Colorado, I think. We'll just see how it goes. But ain't this beautiful country? Yeah, if you travel with us on our videos, you'll know it's not about the destination. It's about the trip itself. That's what makes it fun. Well, this is the area we found. It's a BLM natural reserve area. And we drove down about 5 or 6 miles of dirt road to get here. And we found this pretty little spot. It'll do. Now, it was really sandy. So I got out and walked it. Linda and I got out and walked it before we came in here just to make sure we weren't going to sink in. Because we passed a few roads that looked like they were quicksand. But I've got a job this evening. Something's wrong with that brake, and I got to figure it out. I'm going to have to pull that wheel. I'll try getting a peek at it by crawling underneath with a mirror and a flashlight, but I think I'm going to have to pull the wheel. We'll see if I can even do it here. I don't know. Well, we were just walking around looking for a place to maybe drive the car up on some rocks or something instead of taking the wheel off. And we found some pottery. Look at this. It was just laying in the middle of the road getting driven over.
Yeah.
The pottery in this area is from 1,000 to 1,500 years old as far as they know.
Yeah, we know. You can see the backside is handmade.
Well, you can see fingerprints and everything else in it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the outside is smooth and beautiful. Yeah, we think it's Hopi, but we don't know, but it's just you could tell it had a beautiful, beautiful black and white design.
So I'm going to put them where they hopefully won't get run over again.
Yeah. Well, good find there, Linda. Okay, what we've done here is we've scavenged rocks from the fire pit. And Linda and I hauled them over here, and we built a bit of a ramp just to drive the car up on. It's real solid. I just need to crawl underneath so I can get a peek at the caliper and the brake pads, and if this don't work, I'll be jacking it up. Okay, well, this is what I'm dealing with. I got to get my head up to the front up there and try to get a peek. I'll have to put the camera down to do this. Okay, well, the brake pad on the outside is pretty good. If I was a mechanic and I'd looked at it, I'd say, oh, your brakes are fine. And the rotor is shiny and smooth, but the rotor on the inside is all scored up. And I don't see a pad in there at all. Well, something's wrong with this pad. I can just get just enough. The pad is still there, but it's like coming apart or something. I can't tell. Well, near as I could tell, the brakes are shot. I mean, they're shot. So then the choice is to buy rotors and pads and go to a campground or go somewhere where it's clean working conditions and not on sand like here, and replace them myself, or chance taking it into a shop. Now we're in midwestern New Mexico. I know of a good mechanic in Blanding, Utah. I'll have to think about it. Well, I've been studying the map, and we're real close to Albuquerque, about an hour away. And I think I'm just going to get the brakes done there. I'll just call around till I find a brake shop that sounds like I could be happy with them. I don't mind that one rotor is damaged, because this brake job, it was due for new rotors anyway, so that's okay. But I was going to push on to Blanding, Utah, which is 300 miles away. And then I thought, well, that means I'm going to have to take the most direct route. And there's some beautiful country between here and there, and I don't want to be pushing through it. So I'm just going to bite the bullet and go in and get these brakes done, and the trip will be back to normal in no time. Anyway, that's the plan this evening. Okay, it's the next morning, and I slept on it, the problem with the brakes. And I woke up and I was thinking, I'm going to do it myself. I'm just going to go buy the rotors. I'm going to buy the brake pads, buy a little brake fluid, and get it done. And then I started going through the tools I would need, and I've got everything except for one item: a cheater bar. It's hard to explain, but you mechanics know what I'm talking about. The lower bolt on the rear calipers of this car, of the Yukon, you can't get a breaker bar in there. You can only get a wrench in there, like a box end wrench with a cheater bar on it. Or I think I use one of my 3/8 drive ratchet wrenches fits in there with a cheater bar on the handle. And then I got to thinking, well, oh yeah, I could go down to Home Depot and buy a hacksaw and buy a length of pipe. No, you don't sell cheater bars at Harbor Freight. So yeah, I'm going to pay to have it done. Thing is that the best place to buy car parts is like online through Rock Auto or even on Amazon. But I'm going to have to pay full price, more than full price for the rotors and pads, and then pay a couple $100 labor on top. It's one of those things you got to be prepared for, though, isn't it? You know, when you're on the road, you better have a little money set aside for taking care of things like this. Well, Linda and I are just leaving camp right now. We're climbing up into a mountain behind camp. Yesterday we found those pottery shards, and I also found a 50-70 cartridge case. That's from the late 1800s. It came out just after the Civil War, and that was just laying in the dirt. So,
yeah, let's go see what we can find.
Yeah, the thing is, with pottery shards, there might be Native American habitation site up here, because they usually camped up high, not down low. So we're going to go up and take a look.
Hey, is that an ancient golf ball?
I'm pretty sure.
Let me check. It might be an egg. An egg. No, it's an ancient golf ball.
Old lid off a tin can. Yeah, it was opened with a knife or something.
See?
Don't know what it says.
Well, I bet it was for milk.
Oh yeah, it looks like the top from a milk can, but it's a big one though. So I don't remember big milk cans like that. Anyway.
Yeah, but you're not that old.
It's true. Close. Well, Linda found something. What you got, Linda?
The top of a...
Oh.
bowl or something. See?
Yeah, no, that's pottery. It's
But look, it has this edge like some
oh
modern
yeah.
ones has.
Well, if it's more modern, it's like 100 years old, more modern,
Right.
you know. But yeah, that could be a Pioneer Days thing.
Looks
It's
like the
pretty
stuff
rough though.
the crock pot stuff made out of.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Kind of a beautiful place though, isn't it? This little piece right here is a flake, just from tool making. It's a nice chert or flint. And yeah. It's another piece of pottery. Oh, this one's Hopi. Yeah. Look at the pattern on the back of this. It's Hopi pottery.
Something ate a large animal here.
What part of the large, is that a hip bone?
Yeah.
Oh, you think that's a regular sized cow or a calf?
I don't think it's a cow. It's too small.
Okay. Here's a piece of pottery I found.
Oh.
See? See the pattern on it?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very
I'll
nice.
put that back where I found it. There's jawbones over there.
Yeah.
Let's see what it is.
It's all right here, which makes me believe something ate it. Maybe it's elk.
It looks like elk.
Wait, some people told us about the teeth on elk.
Yeah, I forget. And the teeth are pretty much missing on this. The ivories are missing on it for sure. So I think it's this elk was harvested by a hunter like 50 years ago, something like that. Yeah. Okay, onwards. Let me go put that piece of pottery back where I found it.
Okay. Too, Rick.
It's so much fun just to walk along and find this stuff.
And look, it's like the same pattern you found. That big,
Yeah.
bold black.
And up above us, the rocks start, so we're making our way up to the top here. Lots of elk prints here. Hunting season must be good. Yeah, another piece. And that's a flake. You can tell flakes off tool making because it's the nice stone. It's not that rough granite or basalt or anything like that. It's the nice, smooth, glassy or glass-like stone. Okay, this area was a popular spot. When you find pottery in a trail like this, I'm no expert, but we've been doing this a long time. That means that this was a trail that was being traveled. Also, the flakes tell you that. It also could mean that there was a water source at one end where they were living at the other end, and they were making regular trips down to the creek. That's another possibility. I wouldn't want to be Junior Boy telling his mom that he broke another pot on the way back from the stream. They put their art into those pots, every one, carefully designed, and every family had their own design.
Yeah, it is.
Another pottery shard, yeah?
Yeah.
What else you got? Oh, that's flakes.
These look like glass,
But they're not.
aren't they?
No, those are flakes.
Look at how sharp this one is.
That's
That one is too.
That's the whole idea. They're very sharp. That's why they make such great knives and arrowheads. Yeah, cool.
This one was sticking straight out of the ground like that.
That's why I'm not going barefoot today.
Yeah.
The last time Linda and I were in a spot like this with all the pottery shards was up north of Blanding, Utah, which is about 300 miles north of here. Whatever this is modern. I don't know what it is. Well, you know, man-made, you know. It's actually part of a toilet. Who in the world would lug, and it goes all the way up into the tree right there. Who in the world would lug a toilet up here just to shoot it? I mean, really. It's quite the little walk getting up in here, just to place a toilet on the hillside and take shots at it. But obviously that's what somebody did. And there's part of the beer bottle that led to that. Linda, somebody actually carried a toilet up here, all the way up here just to shoot it. What a slime bucket.
That's crazy.
So for the person who hauled this toilet up here and shot it and blew it all into pieces, this will be laying here 1,000 years from now. And 1,000 years from now, somebody will walk through here and look at this and go, what a slime ball did this. So you're forever the slime ball. Well, that's a big part of the design there. Kind of hollow on the back. Wow.
Oh, can I see it?
Yeah, you want to see it? Sorry.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, so far the pottery shards are leading up to this rock face. Man, I hope we find something cool up here. Right now we're working our way around the north side of this. Then we'll come back around and do the other side. See, this is pottery fragment right here. That might be one right there, that might be stone.
Oh, there's a nice flat spot over there.
We're not at the cliff's face. Oh, go over there and check.
Oh, yeah.
That's possibly the old remains of a fire pit. A good place for a fire. It's actually a good place to camp up here. Hello, Linda.
Hello.
You've got a beautiful spot here.
Yeah, look out at the valley. I don't know the name. It could possibly be Beautiful Valley.
I think that's it. The soil is so sandy that you're not going to find any artifacts in an area like this. Down in the valley areas, it's on the knolls on either side that we've been looking and finding those pottery fragments, and just the rocky areas. There must be just a ton of stuff here though underneath the sand. So it's obvious that the Native Americans love this spot. Okay, now we're coming up to this. Yeah, I hope we find something along this face. Just a sign of occupation from the past. Of course, we've been finding that all morning. I just picked up another flake from tool making, just 20 feet behind me here. That's another thing for you guys coming up and looking for things just for fun like this, just to see what you find. Of course, you're putting it back so that when I come along later, I can also see it. And likewise for you. When you get to an area, sometimes one kind of stone stands out for tool making, and it may be red jasper or something. You'll see red jasper flakes everywhere, or black obsidian. Here it's more of a chert. It's kind of honey colored. So now that I've seen several flakes like that, I'm just kind of keeping my eye open for that color. Well, I don't see any pictographs or anything so far. With all the shards we've been finding, I'd be amazed if we didn't see some petroglyphs or pictographs. It's kind of interesting how those stones are stacked right there. It's a step, but it's just nothing but steep going up. I won't be doing it, but there could very well be just a shelter up there. I wouldn't doubt it. And the steps are right there. That could also be a place where a hunter just sits to watch the valley below. Very possible. I found petroglyphs. I just haven't got up to them yet. Let's go. Here they are. What a find. This is the best one we've ever found, just traipsing around on our own. I just called to Linda so she could make it over here. There's no modern trash up here. There's no trash up here at all. Not so much as a cigarette butt. This is pretty cool. Hey Linda.
Yeah.
I found a panel. It's not just like one or two petroglyphs, it's a whole bunch.
Oh, cool. Where?
Yeah, right just behind me and not too far, maybe 100 feet back behind me here.
All right, let's go look.
Let's go look. You know, I just showed you these stones stacked up here, and when I stood back a little ways, there's a small petroglyph. It's a hard one to see. There's two of them right here, one there and one there. They're pretty old, like real old, because this rock is pretty hard and those are worn away.
Oh, wow. Oh my.
I know you and I have never found anything like that before. This one here is obviously a snake because you can see a head, diamond-shaped head, and up here you can actually see a rattle. And then there's this, I'm gonna hold my camera up. I don't know what this one is. It's almost clover-like.
Yeah.
But don't know what that is.
This is a deer.
Yeah, this one is a deer, not an elk. It's a deer. And this one over here is an alien. That's obvious, we know that.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, we don't have antenna.
Uncle Martin?
Uncle Martin.
Because he has the antenna.
Up above, up here is a smile, but who knows?
I think it was a bird. See the rest of it? You can see the head to the right.
So it's the body, maybe the body, and there's legs,
Yeah.
maybe? Possibly a bird, yeah. And there's another stick figure right here. But look how cool this is. Here's a stack of stones. And over here, obviously, this stone is put up. This is an old shelter right here. This was a place to stop and spend some time. Of course, this is all filled in here, so this would have been maybe a foot deeper or something like that. This is a shelter. Something here. Look at this fella up here. He's about 18 inches tall. There's a big thing here. One thing that was pointed out to us a while back is that sometimes when you see things that don't make sense like that, they're actually showing you terrain. Like this is a mountain, and this is some other feature down here. Possibility. I just love these stylized figures. And then here's rectangles within, or two squares and two rectangles. This, if this was like from Hawaii, this could possibly represent a family, 2 adults, 2 children. Just surmising, don't know.
Also, I read somewhere that, you know, the ruins that we've gone through, how they're all little square rooms.
Yeah.
This is like a...
This is my house?
Yeah. This is like an aerial view of their house.
And this guy up here, something else. He's got like square head with a hat on top, and then these things hanging down like earrings. This is his arms, his chest, another arm over here.
A loincloth.
Legs. Oh, loincloth.
Yeah.
Very cool, Linda. Yeah, unreal. Boy, what a find.
Really, yeah.
Moving along, and we see more. There's a simple square. It meant something to somebody, and he was telling you something. Nothing fancy, just a pottery shard laying along the wall here. Following along through here, I got to be really careful to stop and look. It would be so easy to pass up stacked stone or a glyph on the wall, rock wall or something. Easy to miss it. Well, there is way too much for us to explore up here. I'm pretty happy with what we found already. That's the ideal place to look for fossils. You start splitting those layers apart, you're going to find fossils. That's a whole big stack of them right there. My guess is that the trail goes either to the right of this mountain here or to the left. It's a lot higher than what you can see on the camera here, and a lot steeper. That'll give you some idea of that view right there. To the right or to the left and goes around it and goes up on or through it and gets up on top of it. That's just too much pottery for just finding that one little area with the petroglyphs. But Linda and I are totally happy with that.
Yeah, and I think they lived in this valley because there's a lot of game. And back in the day, there obviously was a water source, you know.
Had to be.
So I would live here. Now this is pottery, not those rocks that fool us all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of flat white rocks. Oh, Linda, that's a beautiful piece.
I'll put it off the trail.
See what I mean about shelters? You could sleep a family of 5 in here. Room to spare. Well, Linda and I just came up to the top of the shoulder on the right-hand side, or it'd be the north side of that place where we're exploring with the in the rocks, and there's a view out the other side here.
Ooh, that breeze feels good.
Yeah, it does, man. It's getting hot.
Yeah. Yeah, my legs are starting to turn to rubber.
No, just another beautiful view. We just came from the left side face of this where we saw the petroglyphs, and now we're on this is the north side of that hill. And there's more to that hill than we've found, I'll tell you that right now. Oh, what do we got here? It's a tool. Archaeologists don't know what it is, but everybody had one in their pocket or their sash. Probably had several different sizes. Maybe ones were sharp and maybe others were just a little duller for scraping. It's the Swiss Army knife of the ancient world. And that's what that is. Well, we're almost back to camp.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough hike, but boy, it was worth it.
That was our best excursion yet.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah, we're sore and we're tired, but hey, we're going to end this video right here, you guys. Thanks for coming along. This afternoon yet, we're going to have a late lunch, and then around 5 o'clock, we're going to hitch up the trailer and head for Albuquerque, which is 100 miles away, because I want to be there first thing in the morning. I think we're going to camp out right in the parking lot at that repair shop. We'll see. So we can get our brakes fixed immediately in the morning, first thing in the morning.
I just thought of something. Do you want to say hi to the people we met along the road?
Yeah, like PJ.
Yeah, hi PJ. Hope your hiking goes well.
Yeah, exactly.
And who else? Phil and Dorothy.
Phil and Dorothy, that's another one. Hello, Phil and Dorothy. And who else?
Mark, we met him at Clayton Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And also you met
Greg, the guy going cross-country on the bike. Mm-hmm.
And also David and Ashley and their 3 little kikis. Jacob.
Big Jacob was the oldest of the bunch, and I think he's only like 6. Speaks 3 languages already. Remembers everything he reads.
He's an amazing little boy.
Yeah, he's an amazing little boy. Anyways, hello to you guys too. Anyways, hope you're watching. Thanks for coming along on this one, and we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye.